Why do I look like this? Because I just made a video and it was really good and it went away. It was my first video. My first rant video. Anyways, that one was too long, so I'm just gonna keep it short here. I figured I'd just make some videos, ranting, vlogging, because it's cool, I guess, on the internet. Anyways, this is first video, nothing special. There are just two things that I want to talk about tonight, that I was thinking about. The first one, I watched this video, Asean, I don't know his last name, 9-year-old kid from Chicago who goes to one of the schools that you're trying to shut down, talking about, they got everything that a school needs. Why do they need to shut it down and send him to a place where there's gang violence and where he might not be safe? And they say they're trying to help the kids. Why do they only give the kids 2 minutes to talk and the banks get this much talk? It was really good. He started crying at the end. I started crying. But anyway, it just made me think. I have a younger brother. I have an older brother too. And obviously they're black, like me. And just thinking about how our system kind of sets them up for failure. And it's, with this whole Trayvon Martin thing going around, and I don't even say going around, but, it brings light to the situation where it's kind of like racial profiling, but at the same time, the system fails us. It perpetuates these bad qualities that exist in society, black or not, and that's what we look like. Um, thug culture becomes black culture, which thug culture is a part of black culture, but then it becomes bad, you know. But then Miley Cyrus, tries to take a little bit of that, and then nobody cares. I like Miley Cyrus. I don't really care, but exactly, I don't really care. Um, anyways, it just made me think about that and my brother, and just how the world is different for him than even it is for me, but especially it is for all my family compared to our white counterparts. Anyways, the second thing I want to talk about is I watched this video, I think it was on Real Time with something, I don't know his name, he's on Comedy Central. It was a video, it's called Feminist versus Comic, and the person, I think her name was Lindy West, was talking about, the danger of rape jokes. And the comic basically was saying, if we cover everything up, you can't talk about anything. The reason why it's funny is because we know it's bad. We make jokes about 9/11. We make jokes about, diseases. We make jokes about race. And we all know we might be saying something kind of bad, but we all know it's bad. So we come here to laugh for a while, and then we go back home and we have to deal with reality. And he was, talking about, and she was saying, well, how's it, kind of doing the whole rape victim in the audience or sexual assault victim in the audience, how are they going to feel when there's a joke and everyone's laughing? And he was like, well, what are you going to do when you go to a movie and you see a rape scene? Isn't that real life rape scene going to traumatize you a lot more than some stupid joke? Um, and basically, my argument, which I thought she should have said, but she was put on the spot too, is we can joke about 9/11 because everyone agrees without a doubt that 9/11 was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. Conspiracy or not, whatever you think about that, it was a horrible thing. That it shouldn't have happened, and people are dead, and that's a shame. And we wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's a horrible thing. That you can get the ins, outs, you can say it was an inside job, but I'm telling you, not all those thousands of people just said we're on an inside job when we're agreeing to die. No, people died, like legitimately died. We all agree that's a bad thing, you know. And then he compared it, she kind of went with the whole race thing, like that there was more hostility in the past about race. So joking about race in the past was different than joking about race today. And that's where I think that's the avenue. Because if someone was joking about race today, they're probably joking about culture. Like, black moms, they always do this. Or, oh, this girl, it's just a culture thing. And it's mostly black comedians. Whereas in the past, it was like, oh, when that black so and so did this, talking about, you know, a funny, ignorant black man, da 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 da, and it's like, you're just kind of spreading ignorance about black people. Oops, sorry. Okay. Um, which is different than what it is today. So, the same thing could happen 20 years with rape. There was so much ignorance around rape. Unless it's guy in the alley, come up and get you, you scream, pinned down to the ground, help me, this is rape. Oh, and by the way, you better be wearing modest clothing. Um, then people kind of find their different leeway, different avenues to go about it, and that's where the ignorance lies. So maybe in 20 years we'll make a rape joke about. So there's this guy and he raped a girl and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know I had a penis. I'm transgendered." I don't know if that's not funny to transgender people. I don't know. Maybe that's another 20 years. I don't know. And then we'll be like, ha ha, stupid rapist, you know. But, and I still don't even know if that joke's tasteful. But, it makes fun of the rapist who is in the wrong. Always. Always the rapist is in the wrong. But then when we make jokes about people getting raped, it's kind of like, you think people are just joking about it because we know it's horrible. Like, people are actually joking about rape, not in the comedy club. Like with that whole Steubenville thing, they thought it was funny to film themselves doing horrible things to a girl. They thought it was funny. Yes. And just because, and they thought maybe just because they didn't have sex with her, it was fine. So, what do you think making jokes about sexual assault says? It was funny. I didn't think it was that big a deal. People joke about it all the time. And the only time people really talk about rape is when like someone gets murdered or it's a brutal rape. I mean, I didn't think it was anything wrong with it. Ha 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 ha. We were just playing around. Boys will be boys. It's like, no, that's not funny. So that's where the difference is that we can't make light of a situation that we don't understand yet. And we're just spreading more ignorance when we think that it's funny to talk about something that we honestly don't understand. It's not funny to talk about the victim of rape. Unless you're a victim of rape and you talk to every victim of rape, your mom's a victim of rape, your brother's a victim of rape, every single person you know is a victim of rape, and you are an expert. I don't think you have the right to just go around and say what they, know what is and isn't okay. Um, because we do have a rape culture, we do have a victim shaming culture, and until we get to the point where we're spreading knowledge about the subject and we can understand that it actually is a horrible thing and we understand all facets of it, because people don't understand it now. You don't even say, people understand that the word rape is bad. People understand that forcing someone down, knocking them unconscious, well, maybe not even that, because maybe she's dead yet, forcing someone down, kicking and screaming to a stranger, I think that's a bare minimum that people understand, and that's what we need to change. And then maybe when we change that, we can start making rape jokes. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Anyways, that's my first video. It's way too long, but yeah. Hopefully, it will still be here.